Good morning to the DMV and the rest of the world. This is your girl Reese, aka the best that ever did it. And we have a good show for you today. Today is September the 19th, Monday morning, 10:30 a.m. Woo! How was y'all weekend? First of all, while some people are coming in, I want to say good morning to you all, and I wanted to know how your weekend was. I had an awesome weekend. I did. I saw the movie, The Woman King, with Viola Davis. It was a good film, excellent film. Too bad it wasn't all real. Of course, they didn't really depict the real. Uh, they left some stuff out, Hollywood fluff. But we're going to talk about that on another show because I want to give other people a chance to see it. But before you see it, you should really do your homework on the tribe, the Dahomey tribe. That's Dahomey, Dahomey. Okay, just do some research and then go see the movie, and then you can see how Hollywood embellished it and made it glamorous. But the woman was vicious. It wasn't glamorous about being one of them Amazons. Anyway, today's show topic is, well, I'm not even going to tell you the topic. I'm just going to talk about some subjects, and then I'm going to share the video clip that I have for you later on in the topic. Let's talk about all these promises and everything that this president uh, made, and the cabinet. Everybody was like going great. Oh yeah, Biden, Biden, Biden. Well, a lot of stuff fell short on Biden. You can't blame it totally all on Biden, but he didn't help the situation any. This is my personal opinion. There's no opinion of the Morning Mac show or nobody else's. This is my personal opinion about me being in tune what's going on in the world today. Because when you turn on the TV, all you see is a bunch of fluff, propaganda, media hype. But one thing that you will see that's not media hype, and when you see it, how people just overlook it, we're in dire straits, people, and you guys don't even realize it. We're we're in some different times. We definitely are in some different times, and that's what I want to talk about today. Our promises that was made. Forget the 40 acres and a mule, because you never get that. You're not going to get any reparations or anything like that. So let's start with today and moving forward. How are they going to facilitate a lot of the stuff and the promises that they made? I was looking at CNN over the weekend, and I know everybody keeps saying, Reese, stop watching the news. It's too much. It's too depressing. But I also go and to the media source to look and Google certain things to see, well, what else is coming up? Is this true? Did this happen? Do some background. Fast, accurate, correct truth. That's what facts is. Fast, accurate, correct truth, right? uh, or should be challenging truth right now, because that's what everybody's doing, it seems like. And some things in there kind of bothered me. Now, I'm all for immigrants coming to America and all that wonderful stuff, right? Uh, Believe it or not, we was forced immigrants, but that's another show as well. So the immigrants coming to America. I was reading an article where this guy, right after Kamala Harris said that the border is closed. Now, Mrs. Vice President, we haven't heard too much from you at all. And then when we do hear from you, uh, allegedly, I'm gonna always use allegedly, that things are false, because you said that the border is closed, but allegedly they did an interview with one of the immigrants that came over, or not immigrants, how do they call it, migrants, one of the migrants that came over, and they was like, well, how did you get over here? He said, I walked through the gates. I'm like, wait a minute. You walked through the border that is allegedly supposed to be closed down, right? You just walked through the border like it was nothing. And is that what's happening? Is that why Texas is getting overran with so many people? There's so much people out there. Do we have anybody in the comment? Hold on, let me see in the comments. Y'all get on in here, so we can have a conversation. Let's talk about this. Talk about what's going on. Let me share this video with some more people, bring some more people in so we can have this major conversation that anybody living in America needs to get in on or needs to hear. Can we take a quick commercial break? We can get back to you in 1 minute. Is that possible? If not, I could keep going. All right, we are back. While I was just inviting some more people into the live because we're talking about stuff that's eventually going to impact everybody that I know, everybody I know that's in America. Anyway, have you noticed how the cost of everything has gone up, from food to fabrics? Everything has gone up. Even your cable subscription, the price of stamps, everything's gone up in this economy except for your wages. Now, you would think that the cost of living will automatically, go up. That poverty line would get raised since the dollar is not even a dollar anymore. The dollar is equivalent to what? A quarter? Or I don't even know the true statistics on that, but a dollar won't get you nowhere anymore. It's so bad that when people don't ask you for spare change no more, they don't even ask you for a dollar. They like, you got $5 or $10. Bam. I mean, when they beg it, they need some substance money, and they know that some change ain't gonna get them nowhere close to what they need. And I'm talking about migrants. I'm talking about how they're letting certain people from certain countries in, because remember, guys, they're not letting the Haitian people in. They're not treating them the same way that they treat the Latino migrants. Um, Something's going on there as well. But that is another story. I'm talking about right now the people that's coming through the border that's flooding Texas and so forth, and what they're doing with it and how they're processing this. Remember, I know a lot of the Democratic states voted for the immigrant law. Like, no, we're not going to build the wall. We want to let everybody come in. Well, America can't do that. America can't afford to do that. They can't afford to take care of the Americans that's here, let alone when you open the floodgates and other people flooding from other countries over here as well. Not efficiently anyway. For example, you would think that New York has been cleaning up their homeless problem. No, I found out a few weeks ago from a native of Hawaii that went to, a visitor went to Hawaii and talked to the natives, that New York and LA, places like that, are sending their homeless to Hawaii with a one-way ticket and $100. Ain't that something? You get a flight to Hawaii with a one-way ticket and $100 because they're trying to get rid of their homeless by sending them different places. Well, that's not going to help the problem, because then that strait is going to experience economic downfall. That's not doing anybody any good at all. Now, the reason why I said that this is going to affect everybody, because how they say it, in lack of a better words, shit trickles down, and we're always, the people always suffers by what the politicians decisions. They're making all the rules, and the politicians, they're not really governing themselves for the people, by the people anymore. And we need to get back to that. Now, prime example of what I'm talking about over flooding of migrants. DC, Mayor Bowser, she is pleading with Congress and the Senate and all for funds to house all these people, uh, because the governor of Texas has been shipping immigrants. Sorry, not immigrants, migrants. I got to keep smacking myself on the wrist. I'm going to find out what the difference between immigrants and migrants are. Um, Migrants. That's flooding DC, thanks to the help of Governor DeSantis. He's taking taxpayer money and funding trips to DC, but he's funding one-way trips, meaning he's bringing them up here and dropping it off. I don't blame him in a way, because he don't want his state overran with this problem, because you got to figure when migrants come in, where are they getting aid from? They're getting aid on our social service system. They're getting aid. These are people, I worked all my life to pay into a system that when I need it, or when I get old enough to use it, that I can dial out of. That's what this whole stuff, why we pay our taxes. You have a flood of people, I mean, uber amounts of people that's coming into this country getting benefits, that they have not worked for or put into. And then when it comes time for you to go get your benefits, guess what? Ain't gonna be no benefits left for you. You the one that worked and put in your money, but it's not gonna be anything left for you, because they're giving it out to other people. I'm not saying, oh, don't help nobody. No, by all means, that is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, how do you protect your American citizens that's born, raised, and grazed right here in America? How do you protect them for their benefits to come? Because they're definitely going to need it. This is without this. This is what we. Yeah, this is the mess you guys voted for. You didn't vote for this, but this is the mess they give you, and not enough of us. Some of us are woke and we understand the situation, but not enough of us are woke and willing to change the situation. When people say, "Oh, we don't care," we gotta care. We gotta care. That's why some people say, I understand voting don't matters, because what we vote for, it don't help us, the bottom line, because we're not getting our needs met. It's like, we didn't vote for that. We voted for this to help, to change, or whatever. But they do whatever they want to do. Okay, we all know that. That's your local politicians. So that's why we need to flood them. We need to flood their offices with letters, emails, phone calls, whatever have you, to let them know, hey, I'm not going to stand for, but this is what the American people allow. Why do we allow this stuff to go on? Okay, back to the example I was making with the immigrants coming in DC, and Mary Bowser asking for money. She wants disaster relief money, because you have over 5,000 people that just, migrants that just flocked to the city, that was bused there, and now you gotta house them, clothe them, feed them, educate, get them acclimated in the way people do here in America, and most of them don't even speak English. But Mary Bowser, bless her heart, she said that we're going to get these children uh, educated. We're going to get them clothes and fed and all that good stuff. How are you going to do that? How are you going to serve the people that always lived in DC, that need to be clothed, fed, and housed? How are you housing them, especially with DC going through their gentrification? Trayvon White, where you at with this? Robert White, where all of the politicians that with this? Red Grant, where all these politicians that's trying to help these wars, help her do what she need to do, so she could run, because she's still mayor, so she could take care of Washington, D.C. This is the nation's capital. The nation's capital don't even have a handle of what's going on. And thanks to Ron DeSantis, and he's steady shipping them. He's steady as the migrants come over. He's steady shipping them out. We have a news clip, and he's admitting it to it now. He didn't want to at first. He didn't want to tell y'all that that's what he's been doing, which again, I kind of can't blame him, you know. And he's giving this problem to other states. He's like, you're not going to flood my state. You're not going to make it to where I cannot run my state. I'm going to give this problem to every state that voted for this, that wanted this to happen without the control. I'm going to send this problem to every state. And that's what he's been doing. I have a clip that I found very interesting, and I hope you guys do too. Molly, you want to run that clip for me?
Backlash this morning after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis confirms he sent 2 planes of migrants to Martha's Vineyard on Wednesday without notice, leaving Massachusetts officials scrambling to find them shelter.
We fed them and we've housed them for tonight. The focus tonight was just, how are we going to make sure these people aren't out on the street?
The Republican governors of Texas and Arizona have been busing thousands of migrants to Washington, D.C., New York City, and Chicago in recent weeks. CNN's Steve Contorno joins us live from Washington. This is an island. They certainly do have a tradition of a faith community that appears to really be stepping up, but this is an island that is not easy to get off of for these migrants.
Right, Brown. And this is something Governor DeSantis has been threatening to do really for months now. He has said repeatedly that he is willing to use taxpayer dollars to send these migrants from the border to Democratic jurisdictions. He has said he would send them to President Biden's home state of Delaware, even if he could. But this is the first time that he has taken credit for participating directly in one of these operations, and including using taxpayer dollars to help facilitate it. And last night he confirmed his involvement, putting out a statement that said, quote, "States like Massachusetts, New York, and California will better facilitate the care of these individuals who they have invited into our country by incentivizing illegal immigration through their designation as sanctuary states and support for the Biden administration's open border policies." Now, the people who are in Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts had no idea that these individuals were arriving. They said that they basically set up shelters like they would if there was a nor'easter or a hurricane that had hit the area. So, and back home in Florida, immediately hit with condemnation from Democrats. The state party chair said that was, quote, "a new low for DeSantis." And we're not getting many answers at this point about what's sort of next for DeSantis, many more of these flights he might be participating in. He hasn't said how much this is going to cost. We don't even have an answer at this point about where these flights were originating from. So that's something we're going to be working to find out throughout the day.
Wow. So you took a look at that video, right? He's taking us Ron DeSantis is taking the taxpayer money from Texas and funding these trips all over the world. You get a flight, and they already said they don't even know what airlines he's using to do this, or even how much of the taxpayer money has gone to do this. He's been flooding people in New York, DC. He even said that he's going to send it right on the president's lawn, and the president's home country, home state in Delaware. Now, this is my thing. DC is getting crowded, where the mayor of DC got to ask for financial assistance from the federal government to house these immigrants. She closed down the shelters, you guys, because the shelters are filled with at capacity with migrants. Okay, now this is my question. If the migrants come in, you put them in school, a school system that's already drowning, that's already needing teachers, that's already classrooms overcrowded and all that good stuff. You bringing them in, okay? Now you're going to get everybody in school. That's fine and great. You already have a limited amount of teachers, and most of these children do not speak English. They don't. Most of these people aren't even don't even understand English. So you got them in your country. You're going to clothe in your state. You're going to clothe them, feed them, house them, and educate them, and help them get acclimated with jobs and all that good stuff. You're not even doing that for the people that's already in your jurisdiction. There's so many people that's homeless. Remember Tent City, where when COVID hit, you made them leave the tents and had to go inside? You had a bunch of, that was one solution to give the homeless population tents so they can live in. But then COVID, you guys took away the tents. So now they was forced into overcrowded shelter. Okay. They didn't have room for the shelter anyway. That's why everybody had to line up, and some people were turned away. Right. So now bring in over 5,000 migrants on top of that already cramped situation. What are you going to get? You're going to get chaos and confusion. How are you going to get any type of calm or get anything done with that kind of chaos and confusion? Okay, you're going to have, and then your benefits, you're going to be cutting people's food stamps, medical assistance, and all of that stuff. Everything is gone up now, mind you. Food is gone up, everything's gone up a paycheck, but you take already a crowded city and keep crowding it into a jar. Eventually, that jar is going to bust. If you take a jar, keep sticking stuff in the jar, it's going to get overcapacitated and pop. How much can DC take? And what's happening, this is why Maryland and Virginia and the surrounding states are affected, because everything that floods in DC, we already know that spill over out in the surrounding states. That's going to cause a problem for Maryland, the influx. That's going to cause a problem for Virginia, the influx. This is a mess here, and they're going to have to clean this up quick, fast, and in a hurry. I've always wanted to go to Martha's Vineyard to visit, but I did not know that I had to be a migrant to get a chance to go there. I always wanted to go to Hawaii, but I mean, these are these are people in situations that they can't help this situation, and we're supposed to be helping them. But what are we doing? What are we voting on? Like I said, the government is supposed to be for the people, by the people, ran by the people. Did y'all sign up for this? Did the people sign up for this? And that's the only thing. That's the question that I pose. What's going to happen? And it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart because they said by the time my generation gets 65, that's in 15 years, that there's no more, 12 years they're saying there's going to be no more Social Security left. Because again, you have a system. I paid into the system all my life, just like I'm sure a lot of you other people have paid into a system all of your life. Okay. But you're letting other people come in and take out of that till that didn't put 1 red cent in it. And if you take all of the stuff, all of my money out my bank and give it away, it's not going to be any money for me. Now, am I supposed to take that? Am I supposed to take that standing down? That's not what I voted for. I did not vote for things to get better. I mean, sorry, not better, worse for me, due to the lack of poor judgment that our elected officials have made. You didn't do this on my behalf. You didn't do this, and it's like it don't really affect the rich because the rich gonna stay rich and the poor stay poor. There's always a loophole for those people, and you're squeezing out the middle class. There's not going to be a middle class anymore. You're either going to be rich or you're going to be poor. I know more poor people, unfortunately, than I do rich people. It's going to be hard on everybody to get the medical care. Right now, you go to the doctor, copay $50. Who can afford that in times like this with this economy? Who can afford that? Your insurance premiums high. That's just for the medical. Your medication, you better hope that you're not on nothing. You better do natural remedies. You better get some sea moss from Mali. Sea moss is good for arthritis. It's good for cancer. It's good for asthma. It's inflammation. You better get some sea moss. And right now, if you buy a book or you buy a jar of sea moss, you get the book free. So you get some healing mentally, and you get some sea moss. I don't know the brand of the sea moss. Molly, $1 Million Moments, he can hook you up with the sea moss. So you get your literature on and your sea moss. You better do something to calm the storm while everything's falling apart around you. At least you could be a little bit healthier with your sea moss and clear your conscience with reading a nice good book. Because this world around us is a mess. Let me see if I'm gonna attempt to read some of these comments. Thank you, Slicky Woo Boo. Thank you, Molly. Thank you, Jaquan. I think I'm saying the name right. Thank you, Ron, for tuning in. Other than Slicky, because Slicky said that we need to put foot in certain people's behind. Slicky going to go straight to the violence. How do you all feel as DC residents and natives to DC? Because it's you that's going to be shortcut. Your government funding is going to be cut short for you, and your government funding, government programs, and the stuff to educate our kids and all that stuff is going to get cut short because they have so many other individuals to tend to. Not native Washingtonian, but implants. That's all it is implants. That's another way of saying it, implants. Yes. So how do you feel? Y'all got to feel some kind of way. This housing market is no joke. With the people getting housing, getting affordable housing, especially now that DC is trying to regentrify itself, that gentrification. Now, if you have all these migrants, you already got the DC people looking for jobs, and you already got them looking for houses. So here is 5,000 plus looking for jobs and looking for housing, the same as you. It's going to be a rat race. It's going to be who gets it first. And crime is going to go up because of poverty, because of need. It's going to be more people stealing because there's going to be more people hungry. Because it's going to be more people in need of help. Statistically speaking, areas with people are flourishing, people have jobs, people are working, tend to have less crime. Did you guys know that? It's areas that have the highest crime rates where there's no jobs, where there's no employment, where it's like this depression area, crime is higher. Did you guys know that? That's just a little statistically speaking. So what do you think is going to happen? The police department is already overworked. So then they're going to have these undocumented citizens coming in, flooding the place. So now you got the trouble that you already had on top of all of these other people coming in. What are you going to do? What can the mayor do other than ask for help? Because she opened her mouth 3 years ago and said that we welcome the migrants. We welcome this. So Ron DeSantis, being DeSantis, uh, they joke and call him more Ron death sentence, but his name is Ron DeSantis. So him being the person he is, a person of his word, because he said he's going to do it, and he did it, and he's doing it. He's taking the migrants that come in through the border, because he's a border state that outlines the border, and he is shipping them to everybody who said, "Yeah, it's okay, come on in." He's making that their problem, and again, I don't blame him for doing that. Because if I was the mayor, I probably would do something like that as well. Because they're not giving them any extra government funding to house or to facilitate that situation. So he's like, well, I ain't got enough room here. Let me go put these people over here. And I'm sure that these states are more than willing and capable of taking care of the people. That's what he said. Woo. I just need to know what y'all think. Let me see. Is anybody saying anything? Does anybody have a comment regarding this? Because it's ultimately going to affect you. You don't have to speak to me, but you need to really speak to your congressman, your Senate, your House of Representation, the people that are representing you. You need to speak to all the Trayons, to all the Robert Whites. I don't hear anything from all of these politicians that was running during electoral time. They only come out during the electoral time when it's time to vote. How come nobody is saying anything? Nobody's weighing in on anything. It's like they're gone, like gun smoke. But the migrant problem is going to be gone. That's going to be there. It's going to be right there knocking in Ward 8, wards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Is going to be spread out through the metropolitan area. So all your representatives and congressmen, where are they? Where are they now? Are you going to be able to get them on the phone and talk to them and say, hey, they cut my food stamps. Hey, they cut my medical. Hey, they cutting my housing. Hey, are you going to be able to do that?
Nope.
Hey, good morning.
That's Katina. She on the YouTube. Slick, you said sound like uh you one of Whitey's favorite. You scared. Say if you scared, say you scared, sis. Nene said hey. Ron said hey. Great topic.
No, I'm not scared. You know what? I take it back. I am scared. I'm scared for the people that I love, for the people I see around me, for these things that's going to impact us. I'm scared for the future of my great niece. She's only 1 years old, and this is the type of situation she's going to inherit. These are going to be her problems in the future because they're already doing away with us now. So these are going to be the problems of the future generations to come. That we're already riddled with disease. We got and bad economical care, bad health care. We're already overcrowded. And by you open up the floodgates to other countries, I'm not saying not to, but the way you're doing it is chaos. And like I said, and out of chaos and calamity and confusion, don't nothing good come out of that.
Yeah.
And then how come you don't do the same for the Haitians? They came over by the bolo. They got here on their own. And what did we do? Stop them in the water. When I said we, I mean your federal government. The government stopped these people in the water. Now, if they have these programs that say, hey, they can come on, the people can walk through a gate on one side, people can't even come to the shores. You used to bring us here by boats, but
Mm,
now that you got us here by boats, you turning us away in the water. Wouldn't that have been a different narrative if they did that during the slave time, during the time of slave trade? If they told them boats, nope, don't bring them people here, take them back.
that would have helped a lot, but the people who turning them people around, them the people who came in on boats. So they know what damage come from letting people in on boats. Cause the damage from what they did. So yeah, a lot of people don't know like with migrants and then you got immigrants. It's really like the same thing. But when you hear migrant, that mean they coming from a country that we own basically. The only time you're a migrant if you coming from within the same country. Now if you're an immigrant, that means you coming from a whole nother country to a whole nother country, from one place to another. But when you're a migrant, that means you supposed to be coming from like Cali to damn near DC. That's a migrant. So if they looking at these people coming from across the border as migrants, that means that we own the land that they coming from. So they only doing is taking care of they people. Now they trying to find more houses for them. They send them to the biggest states, LA. They need more workers out there. They tired of overpaying people like us. So you get these people come over here that'll take a penny on a dollar. They can pay them to do the labor now and kick us out. We won't have certain jobs. It ain't really about housing because I ride past too many abandoned homes like every day, all day. They can really fix a lot of these houses up and help people out, but they choose not to. A car values go down soon you leave the lot, but a
Mhm.
house somehow the value still 100 to 300,000 in DC. Like every year, it somehow can go up. If the grass cut nice, it go up. Like, no, this house is old. The value go down every year. It should go down just like anything else. A car, the old PlayStation, anything old when the new come out, that's when the value go down. So it's just weird that housing value stay up because they don't want us to have home. They want it to be hard so we can depend on them and they can place us everywhere. These immigrants, they knew these politicians, they knew Trey, all of them, they know this was the plan. They did their part. They got in the game. They did what they had to do. Now they got to sit out and lie to us and tell us, oh, everything gonna be okay. The food stamps gonna come, this and that. He who control the money control the people. So as long as they control the money, they can control the people all day. And I'm just tired of playing the game with him like this, not by accident. He not accidentally sending them to these Democratic states. He not doing this to be spiteful. This is the plan. They just using him as Darth Vader, and everybody was playing Luke Skywalker, but it's a good movie. This is just nothing but Star Wars. All of them playing their role to make this happen. So you're gonna have one side like, oh, they messed up, the other side agree with them. But at the end of the day, they just puppets, man, and they being told what to do and it's all planned it out. It been planned it out probably for the last 10 years. It just people don't really pay attention. We really believe that things just happen. Not in America. Like everything we do, we plan it out. Nothing is by accident, not by mistake. This is actually planned it out. And I think it's gonna hurt a lot of people here. It's just a lot of people gotta stop voting for these people. Stop voting in general, man. Like we need to get back to doing what we want to do, but people scared. They scared to change. We got some more comments in here.
What's the other comments?
If America stopped destabilizing other countries, that people would probably stay home. I know, right? They running from them to come here, but that's how they get them to want to come to America. We go over there and cause like chaos and get them people to run over. That's Katrina. She said migrants are people without status.
Hmm. Migrants are people without status.
Mm-hmm. They looking for work though, and that's the thing. Migrants, not they normally people looking for work from one place to another. That's what literally a migrant normally used to be. And if you ever hear anybody like Animal Planet or something like that, you'll hear them say that on the Animal Channel. They'd be like, they just migrate from one habitat to another like animals. They say that about animals. Like when the weather change, that's what they doing. They migrate. When you see the birds fly from one side to the other during the weather, That's what they doing. They migrating from one side to the other. That's what the word normally was used for. I don't know what they done
Well,
changed.
these people are illegal. They
Yeah.
so they're illegal migrants. If the border is supposed to be shut, how is it that DeSantos got them coming in by the Ubers, buses, planes, trains? How is he able to fill up two planes and drop 5,000 off in D.C., a few thousand off in New York and California, and New York and California is sending their homeless and indigent people to Hawaii. They were one-way plane tickets, and $100.
And $100.
And they give you $100, and then Hawaii returns send them to Florida. And where else did they say Hawaii send them to? They playing this game.
California and New York. That's where the money at.
California, New York. Who gets the bum? Bum
DC.
bum. Who gets the bums? Who gets the homeless and injured people? They playing games like that, and this is ridiculous. You ain't even taking care of your regular legal citizens in the U.S., but you're opening up the floodgates for more. Then you saying that the world is overpopulated. This continental pop, you inviting in more diseases because I'm pretty sure everybody say get vaccinated, get vaccinated. I'm pretty sure that those migrants or the illegal migrants that's coming flooding the gate, I'm pretty sure they ain't getting no vaccination, and your government has stopped doing vaccination anyway. The government said we stopped doing it. It's on the healthcare now. Now the healthcare industry now, and when the government said that, boom, no more pandemic. Boom, it's the end of the pandemic. Okay, the government not gonna foot the bill no more. No, because the government is busy sending trillions of dollars to the Ukraine, trillions of dollars for migrants. Everybody else they giving hand out to come up and do better, except for the people that was born and raised here. Can I get some money? Can I get some help with my medical? Can I get some food stamps? I want to eat too. Can I get some help? I would like to go to the doctor too without having to pay an arm and a leg. I would like to be able to get my medicine. I not only do am I from this country, not only do I live in this country, I paid the dues that this country required of me to pay. I gave my taxes. Now it's time for me to get some of that out. Guess what? Oh, now this bank out of business. Or now I can't get no help. But when I look to my left and look to my right, here's these people that didn't put a penny in this system, getting benefits, getting this, getting that. And I'm like, how you getting what I ain't even got? How you jumped the line ahead of me? I've been waiting in this line umpteen years. I can't get no help. They looking at me like I'm a criminal. You know, and they treat the disabled and the elderly people terrible, like we ain't nothing. You get more help being a migrant or somebody without a status than you would with somebody that has status. I didn't vote for this mess. Nope, nope, not at all. And like I said, it's not enough of us that we could fight and force the system to say, hey, you're representing us. This is not what us signed for. Us didn't do that. We didn't do this stuff. That's not what where y'all at? Crickets. Because if it do not apply to you, you're not going to get involved. You're not going to care. You're not going to worry about it. But let them keep on putting these migrants in place and open up the floodgates. The people that's working here, when you get pushed out of your job, when they can find somebody to underbid you, they can do the same job you do for cheaper. When you get pushed out and you're going to need some help, or your rent going to go up when you can't afford to pay it because somebody else came in and took the job that you was working for years, unfair practices and all that stuff. You think it does not apply to you, but it does. It's a circle, people. It goes around and around and around. And if you don't stop this some kind of way, if you don't stand up, I'm going to say stand up for your rights, for your benefits, and all that, they get ready to break it. Whatever bow or bow that we're in, or ever jar or dome that we in over here in the metropolitan area in the DMV, this stuff getting ready to shatter. Boom. There's going to be so many casualties that ain't going to be funny on both ends. And I just think it's just disgusting to me. It's just, we need to do better. If you know better, do better. But not
Yeah,
enough people
yeah.
can.
Rich people need poor people to fight against each other so they can keep supporting us all. That's Katina. He said, where to start our companies in America. He had another good one. He said, we help other countries. It's a double-edged sword. Uh, Katina said, vaccines don't help. You know, these folks want us to be mad at migrants so that we don't focus on them. And I definitely agree with that. I keep telling people this stuff is planned. Sis, I don't think anything with America happened by accident. I think they telling the migrants that, come to America, we gonna promise you this and that, and they willing to come here for a better life. And I'm okay with that because it's more than enough room. What a lot of people don't know is everybody in America can fit in the state of Texas alone, just Texas. So it is space. I don't understand like why who put a border up? Who say that's a border? They got all these invisible lines, and that's the thing. Who put these people in control to say you can come here or you gotta buy a plane ticket to visit here? You gotta have a passport to see this part of the world. It's like God did not put that anywhere in the book. It's like when people start to really believe in their faith or whatever they believe in, then you'll stop letting people dictate what you can do out here in this world that God gave to all of us. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
saying just go out here and just curry. I'm just saying that we shouldn't have to plead and get certain paperwork to be in a certain place. Like you see animals roam where they want to roam. Only time they not is when they being captured. So we being captured. We being caged in certain states. It don't feel like it because we not in bars. But at the same time, we in borders. Like this line separate them from us. So that make them different. No, they human just like us. They breathing the same air as us. They air not different than over here. Only thing's different, they trying to pollute the air, but the world is the world. I just don't like the fact that they separate us like DC, Philly, this and that. That's how they just separate certain people, keep people from going certain parts of the earth and all that. Like people should be able to just roam where they want to roam. But I think once they put them borders and them invisible lines up, that's called division in all people. So people think we better than them over there, or they robbing us from land and benefits that we should already have. They not gonna get nothing that we ain't had. And Obama been did this. When Obama was in office, immigrants had more status than we did. If they needed a
Yep.
kidney or
Sure
something,
did.
they got it first. So this ain't nothing new with the Democratic Party. This is something they always do. And the Republicans always play the villains. So it's just this
You
good
mean
cop,
play the
bad
good
cop.
guys? Oh, the Republican played the villain, and
Yeah.
the Democrats was supposed to be the good guys. I don't see it that way, but all of them.
See, America's home of the free, wetland, dry, and trio.
Who said that America home of the
E.
free?
That's his consequence for the nation's bill. Yeah, this was a good topic today, sis. I just think that, politics is a bunch of BS. They
Yes, I
use
do
this
too.
to control people. It's like the church for real. Politics, a big church. They just got two sides like a football team, Cowboys and the Redskins. You got a lot of people like Democrats, so they gonna go for them. They don't care what they talking about, what they writing down, what policies they changing. They just like I voted for this, and then after they see everything go chaos, oh I ain't vote for this. Yes you did. Just because you don't know you vote for this, don't mean you ain't vote for this. People say all the time, oh I ain't vote for this. I don't know what they doing. It. Yes you did. Anything they doing, that's the president you vote for. this what you voted for. You know, anything Trump
Sleepy
did was his
Joe.
fault. Anything Joe do is like, oh, it ain't his fault. You know, they making him do this. Then what you think they's making Trump do? You know, it's like one thing for one president, then it's different for another. You know, it's like no, they always the president. You know, it don't matter what they was doing, they was all messed up. And every time we get a new one, he gonna be messed up. You know, I just think Trump was then supposed to be president. I think he did something that ain't supposed to be done, and that's why they ban him and bash him so much, and people hated him so much. But he wasn't allowing this. The same thing people complaining about with the things that he said he wasn't gonna allow. You know, so it's like you can't have it both ways.
Unfortunately, you cannot. No, no, you cannot. And I'm just looking for a better way, looking for a better way to live, a better way for us all to get along, a better way for they say you got to do things the right way. What is the right way? What is right anymore? Is the right way what's best for somebody else, or is there really a right way that goes for everybody? Because rich have their own right way of doing things. The A person with money don't have to follow along the same lines and laws as a poor person. We all know that. We've seen that. A person of a different color do not follow a line of the same laws. We all know that. We've seen that. So what is the right way and what is the wrong way? Is the right way the white way? Is the right way the rich way? If because if you're that, you don't have to follow lines, rules, or regulations. The commoners, the average day, everyday Joe, the hard working people is the one that suffers, right?
Mhm.
I digress. I digress. All I know is that y'all better wake up and better pay attention to what's going on around you. To what's going on around you. Yep. That's all. That's the only closing comments I got for today. Because it's just Martha's Vineyard next. They're going to all the great places, all the good states that's populated.
Mhm.
I always wanted to see Martha's Vineyard, Molly. I always wanted to go to Hawaii too. So you,
And
if
what?
we get in a migrant line, you think they'd send us there?
Man, Hawaii, we own Hawaii, so it's like we don't even need a passport to go Hawaii no more. See how weird that is? A lot of people don't know California was Mexico for real. Like all that was
Yeah.
Spanish. That's why you got Cali, you got San Diego, San Antonio,
Los
all that.
Angeles.
Yeah, all
Los
that's named
Angeles.
after them. And now
Exactly.
they need certain paperwork to get in the place they from on their
El
own land.
Segundo.
And we take over everything. We gangsters, man. A lot of people don't know how gangster our politics really are. You know, just be happy to be on this side of the fence, because on the other side, they getting straight bullied. They getting bullied everywhere, man, by us. Like we fly in all types of countries, this straight mall shit. Like, look, we gonna try this new drug on everybody down here. We don't care what's the consequences.
Hmm.
There's nobody there to punish us, you know, and that's the thing. So we just go out here and do what we want, and we make the narrative and the story however we want it to be, and people will believe it. Like, oh, they down here, they need our help. Like, why we down there? Like the nigga down the street, I don't know what's going on in his household. I don't have no idea, and I don't care. You know, like if he come out and somehow ask for help, then yeah, that's the only way we help. But these people don't ask us to come over. They just somehow end up over there and know all their problems. Like, stay the hell from out of their country. You know, they like we need that. They need us. Then they go to the poor parts to make it look like that's how it look everywhere down there. Like, no, Africa look better than America a lot of places. Like, don't get fooled. Like, a lot of these countries, they got a lot of
A
poor places there, but it's a lot of rich areas too. And
lot
they
of
got no
beautiful
middle
places.
class, no middle class. So it's either you poor or you rich. You know, so here you got middle class, so you see it a little bit here and there, but them places got some nice like lands, tourist attractions. That's why people fly out of the country. Y'all go to all these different countries and y'all think they poor. Like, no, they nice. They just a tourist attraction for a lot of people. That's how they make their money.
That's true. That's true. Like my nice home that I'm sitting in, this nice 3 bedroom the house that I'm in. That's why I have the baby grand piano in my living room, and that's
Love
why I have it on the other side, my bay windows and stuff. Complete finished basement. I got all of that.
it.
I got all of it. You see, it's smoke screen and hidden mirrors. So everybody thinking everything is beautiful, all's well, hunky dory, but it's not.
Okay,
It's
what you
not.
got for on tomorrow, Reese? You got let them know your topic for tomorrow before you get out of here.
What is the topic for tomorrow, Molly? What I send you on tomorrow? The topic.
You sent me.
My mind is gone.
Said
I mean, I blew my. I've been up early this morning trying to handle business and stuff, and my mind is fried.
she is done. Let me see what you sent. Let me see now.
I know it was good because it sparked my like.
Sent it on TikTok,
I did. What was
on Facebook for TikTok.
must have been something
Uh,
political.
yeah, it's saying this account is private. They won't let me see whatever you sent me.
I had to send it back to you. It was on some more good stuff, But Wednesday, y'all, we're gonna talk about the homie, the homie. We're gonna talk about the real uh woman king, the Omi tribe. People got to go back and read their history. It's funny how they made a movie out of this, and if you go back in history books and stuff that was put out a long time ago, you got to read everything's in the book. So when I saw the commercial, I said, well, I want to see that. I wonder is it going to, show true to the real life, what happened to the Naomi tribe, right? Of course it didn't, but it still was a great movie. Viola Davis, magnificent performer. It was a great movie, but they don't tell the truth. They glorified some stuff. And we're gonna talk about that on Wednesday. Tomorrow, was we talking about children? Was it I forgot was it was I forgot the topic. Anyway, you guys gotta tune in definitely tomorrow to find out what I forgot to tell you tomorrow's show is gonna be about. My mind is a migrant. It done moved on somewhere.
G burnt.
It done moved on somewhere. Man, I tell you. Whew. So that's all I got for y'all for today. Tune in tomorrow. I found another great topic. Already got the topic, just can't remember it. Goodness gracious. I honestly can't remember. But I do remember if you get this book right here, or if you get your jar, sea moss Molly, what's the sea moss called? Molly sea moss?
Molly Mars, the Sea Mars jail. Everybody know what
Molly
it is.
Mall sea moss jail and get you this good book, it would definitely help your mind. Molly, I gotta give me some sea moss. My mind is gone. It helps asthma, it helps arthritis, it helps cancer and inflammation. That sea moss is some good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Get you right.
And it's natural. And I read the benefits. I said, okay, I gotta get this the algae that grows on the rocks in the bottom of the, see. I said, okay, I gotta try this, So I'm journaling my journey for you all.
It
So
don't hurt to try. It don't hurt to try. A
it
great
don't it
show.
don't hurt to try.
Great show.
Oh, thank you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. That's all I got for them for today.